Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. It is now 2002, so slowly but surely we are working our way up to 2020. We're first in the East, again, by quite a big margin, too. We have a 10-point lead on the Devils. We're looking pretty good. As usual, I always look, prior to a video, always look at which players are on the trading block. There was nobody that was interesting. Plus, I made a pretty big splash last time, so I think I'm going to stay calm. Unless something drops on my lap, of course. I am always open to that. So, this is pretty much where we are. So, is this the year the Sens are going to win the Cup? We have a pretty strong team. I like our chances, but we cannot be overconfident. We've been bitten in the past more than once. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and start moving forward here in January. Oh, yeah. Today is March 13th. It's one day after the NHL decided to be cancelled, so people like me, unless you go and watch old hockey games that you have recorded on a VHS tape or something, or that, you go online and watch old hockey games, people like me are pretty much your daily dose of hockey, I guess. I am replacing the NHL. I just don't have the millions. Alright, let's move forward here. So we are going to be hosting the Washington Capitals in a few days. But first, let's see what's going on in the league before then. A memorable game for Scott Gomez, who had a hat-trick 3 goals against St. Louis. Pretty good. Matt Sundin has achieved 500 assists. He had 2 goals and an assist against Nashville. Pretty good game. Pretty good career. Joe Sakic extends his assist streak to 11 games in that same game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Sakic is 32 and he is still a 5-star player. Sergei Gonchar's point streak ended at 14 games. He didn't get a point against the Islanders. So that was a nice little streak. We don't see many defensemen with streaks like that. I guess we saw probably Paul Coffey. I'm pretty sure we saw him. It was a while ago, so please excuse me if or pardon me if I forget. Let's see. Rod Brydon is very happy. We went 10-4-1 in December. We did play a lot of games in December, especially after Christmas. We had like 5 games or something. That was pretty intense. Kevin Haller is put on waivers for like the millionth time this season. I am still not picking him up. Alright, we are going to be hosting the Washington Capitals, like I said. Washington, as they have been doing since the start of this, are struggling. They are 13-22-5, and they are 14th in the East. Ironically, we lost the only game we played against them 2-1. Alright, so we are going with Ryan Miller in net, and the Capitals are going with Curtis Sanford. They are not going with Olaf Kolzig. Okay. And we won 6-2. Alright, that's more like it. We did outshoot the Capitals 44-33. Alexei Yashin was the first star of the game. Wow, that's a pretty good game. 2 goals and 3 assists. Daniel Alfredson was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Patrick Eliash was the third star with an assist. We had 14,314 people in attendance. Washington did score first, made it 1-0 after one, and then they made it 2-0 at the start of the second period, but then we scored 4 straight goals. First was Yashin from Patrick Eliash and Pavel Datsyuk, then Daniel Alfredson is 15th from Alexei Yashin and Joe Thornton. Bill Guerin scored on a power play from Brian McCabe and Alexei Yashin, and then Martin Havlat from Andreas Dackel and Niklas Avlid. It was 4-2 Sens after 2. Then we scored 2 more goals in the third period. Marianos on the power play from Bill Guerin and Alexei Yashin, and Yashin from Daniel Alfredson and Sheldon Surrey. 6-2 is our final score. Good start to the month. Oh, and that loss means that Paul Maurice got fired, which that's not good for him. And who replaces him? Mike Milbury, oh boy. Okay. In that loss against us, though, Peter Bondra scored his 400th goal of his career. So he had a goal against us. Alright. We are about to face the Leafs. Now, the Leafs are not a rivalry team against us. That's Tampa Bay, because we have quite a history with Tampa Bay. But the Leafs, not so much. And the Leafs are in a playoff spot right now. Okay, Rudy has been put on waivers. He's 40. He's still a star and a half, so he might be able to help a team a little bit. His salary's cheap. Joe Sakic extends his point streak to 12 games. He had a goal against the Rangers. But he didn't get an assist, so his assist streak ended at 11 games. Martin Straka extends his point streak to 12 games. Nice little streak for Straka. 2 assists against the Islanders. Jeff Shantz is available, not picking him up. No further punishment for Jamal Mayers, who plays for the Panthers in my universe. No suspension for him. Teppo Numinen played in his 1000th game in his career. He's 33, so that's still pretty young to get to that number. That's pretty good. Didn't get a point to celebrate, but still good little achievement for him. And now we are going to have a home and home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. We beat them twice this year so far. They are 18, 17, and 6. And like I said, they are in a playoff spot right now. They are 8 in the East. So let's see if we can beat them again. We're going to send Mike Dunham for that one. He's going to face Jean-Sébastien Giguère. And we won 4-2. Alright, another pretty good game. We outshot them 58-17. So yet again, Mike Dunham wins, but is not too stellar in that. Bill Guerin was the first star of this game. He had 2 assists. Carlo Kolayakovo was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Zdeno Chara was the third star with an assist. Wendell Clark opened the scoring in the first, and then there was a whole bunch of penalties in the first period. So it was 1-0 for the Leafs after 1. Then we scored twice in the second. Marianosa scored on the power play from Bill Guerin and Sami Salo. Then Magnus Arvidsson scored unassisted. Then the Leafs tied the game, made it 2-2, and then Patrick Eliash scored his 15th on the power play from Yashin and Guerin, made it 3-2. And about 6 minutes and something later, Pavel Datsyuk scored, assisted by Sillinger and Zdeno Chara. 4-2 was the final score. Oh, Karel Pilash in Toronto is back from suspension. So I guess he did not play this game. Tommy Shodin is available again, and I'm still not going to pick him up. Joe Sakic's point streak ended at 12 games. He was held scoreless against Detroit. Peter Forsberg is back from suspension in Colorado. Forsberg is a 4-star player. He's 28. Martin Straka extends his point streak to 13 with an assist against the Rangers. Alexei Kovalev is back from suspension for the Rangers. No one could stop Brett Hull, who had a hat-trick against Dallas, 3 goals. 37 years old Brett Hull looks like he's going to finish his career in St. Louis. Maybe not. Ray Bork did move. I'm over it now. That's okay. Alright. And then there's been a trade between Pittsburgh and either the Islanders or the Rangers. The Rangers. Alright. So Richard Park and Guy Hebert are going to the Rangers for Greg Zanon and Dan Blackburn. I remember that Dan Blackburn, he had like a short hot streak or something, and he was like supposed to become pretty good, and then it didn't quite pan out for him. Then Greg Zanon, of course, I did not re-sign. I've let him go, and looks like the Rangers signed him and now traded him to Pittsburgh. It's hard to tell who got the. I think it's a pretty even trade, to be honest. Maybe the Rangers got slightly the upper hand, but it's pretty even as far as I'm concerned. Now we are going to be playing Toronto again. Jaromir Jagr has a day-to-day injury. 3 days. That's nothing. Stefan Matteau is suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Matteau still playing in Chicago here. And Martin Straka in that game against Chicago went scoreless, so his point streak ended at 13 games. Alright, we are facing the Leafs, and we are going to beat them again. At least I hope. Ooh, wow. Couple days make a big difference. After losing to us, and 2 days later, the Leafs went from 8th to 11th in the East. So now they are not in a playoff spot anymore. They're sending Giguère again. We're going to Ryan Miller. Maybe feeling a little bit more confident with him in net. And it's a tie, 4-4. I wish I would have won that one. I guess I'm not too upset. Oh, dear God. We had 70 shots on goal, and Toronto had 23. So 70 to 23, the shots on goal. One goaltender was a lot better than the other, and he still didn't get a star. So Zdeno Chara was the first star of this game. He had 3 assists. Todd Marchand was the second star for Toronto. He had 2 assists. And Daniel Alfredsson, the third star, with a goal and an assist. So each team... no, sorry. I'm going blind. Maybe not. I'm not making fun of blind people. I just didn't see very well. So Toronto took a 3-1 lead into the first period. So Yannick Tremblay scored on the power play from Tim Taylor and Thomas Caberly. Then we tied the game with Sheldon Souris scoring shorthanded from Avlid and Chara, and then Toronto scored twice more. Then in the second period, the Sens scored 3 goals unanswered. So Daniel Alfredsson scored from Chara and Thornton. Then Guerin on the power play from Yashin and Eliash. And then Thornton on the power play from Chara and Alfredsson. 4-3 after 2. And then Brad Boyes scored shorthanded in the third period. Made it 4-4. That held. Nobody scored. So we had a tie. All right. Oh boy. Yeah, we are playing the Trashers tomorrow. There was no stopping Theo Fleury, who had a hat-trick against the Islanders. 3 goals. Todd Bertuzzi is back from suspension in Long Island. Back into the lineup for him. 26 years old. 3 stars. That sounds about right. A good game for Eric Weinrich in Philadelphia. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Trashers. And Brendan Morrow in Dallas is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. So we are about to face the worst team in the league, the Atlanta Thrashers. They are 6-31-6. And they are 15th in the East. It's not even close. Yeah. They have 18 points, and Florida is 14th with 32. So we won both games against the Thrashers this year. We're 2-0 against them, so let's play them. Yeah. Anything but a win is unacceptable here. Mike Dunham is in net for us. He's going to face Pessy Nurminen. Oh, we lost 4-2 against the worst team in the league. Mike Dunham, I think you are playing your way out of this lineup. I will find a way to replace you for Tim Thomas, who is wasting away in the minors. Alright, so they did outshoot us 31-22. Tony Herkis was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Pavel Datsyuk was the second star with a goal. And Patrick Stefan was the third star with a goal. We actually took a 2-0 lead into the first. Datsyuk scored from Sharon Sillinger. And then Eliash on the power play from Marian Osa and Brian McCabe. It was 2-0 for the Sens. But Atlanta scored twice in the second and twice in the third. And that was it. Alright, so now we are going to be playing against the Florida Panthers in Florida. So Florida is another team that's struggling. They are 14-25-4. And they are 14th in the East. So another team we should be able to beat. We did beat them 5-3 in Florida earlier this year. So we are 1-0 against them this year. Alright, so we're going back to Ryan Miller because he's a lot more solid than Mike Dunham. John Graham is going to be in net for Florida. Oh! That's weird. I didn't know it was doing that. Okay, so we just tied 0-0 against Florida, but I never had that I can remember a 0-0 tie, and it made the goaltenders disappear. Usually after a game, you see like the shots against here already, but we didn't get to see that now in the 0-0 game. So we outshot them 50-12. We couldn't score on 50 shots on goal. John Graham was really good, but he didn't get a star for whatever reason. Chris Neal, first star. Darren Van Imp, second star. Zdeno Chara, third star. Nobody got points. There was no scoring. Yeah. Why didn't John Graham get a star? Wow. We outshot Florida 20-0 in the first period. Poor fans in Florida. They probably were like, "What are we doing here?" Oh, Martin Prusek is available. Oh, Montreal got him. Now I'm upset. Former Ottawa Senator Martin Prusek playing in Montreal. Traitor. Well, he never really played for Ottawa. Yves Sarro got suspended in Minnesota. He's going to miss 4 games. And now we're playing in Tampa Bay, our rivals, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay is having a decent season. They are 21-18-3, and they are 3rd in the East. And we won the only game we've played against Tampa Bay this year, 5-0. We are going with Ryan Miller in net. They are going to send Martin Brochu. And we won 4-3. Alright, we had a little kind of cold streak there, but now finally a W to celebrate. We had 42 shots on goal. They had 23. And Mike Sillinger was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Damon Lanko was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Sheldon Surrey, third star with 2 goals and an assist. Alright, so Tampa Bay scored first in the first 34 seconds in. Then Marian Osa scored from Surrey and Sillinger. Then Surrey scored from Guerin and Pavel Datsyuk. It was 2-1 after one. Then Sheldon Surrey scored his second goal of the game, his 10th of the season, assisted by Sillinger and Zdeno Chara. But Tampa Bay scored again, so it was 3-2 Sens after 2. Then we traded goals in the third. Serge Aubin tied the game at 3, and then Mike Sillinger scored, assisted by Joe Thornton. And that was a game winner. So the Sens won 4-3. Suspension for New Jersey's Colin White, not to be mistaken with current day Colin White. Whew, excuse me, I needed to sneeze. It almost came out before I could press the button. Alright, so yeah, Colin White, of course, plays for the Senators in 2020. He's a forward, but there was a defenseman at the end of the 90s and start of the 2000s named Colin White playing for New Jersey. Alright. Alright, and we are about to host the Philadelphia Flyers. Brendan Morrow is back from suspension in Dallas, back in the lineup. Right, Mark Lawrence is available. Matthias Nordstrom is available. I'm not gonna pick him up. I have a couple star and a half defensemen that are around that age and everything, like Brad Bombardier. He's not doing much of anything. I have a pretty healthy team, knock on wood. So I haven't had to use too many injury call-ups. A memorable night for former Ottawa Senator Robert Zvela, now playing in Anaheim. He had 4 goals and an assist. Wow, you were pretty good with us, but never that good. Did that against Nashville. François Beauchemin in Montreal got suspended. He's going to miss 4 games. John Leclerc in that same game extends his goal streak to 5 with 2 goals and an assist against Philadelphia. Alright, and now we are playing the Flyers. So I guess they played in Montreal yesterday and now in Ottawa today. Alright, so Roman Cechmanek is going to be in net for the Flyers. And we are sending Ryan Metter. I forgot to say the Flyers are 22-16-6, and we beat them 3-0 earlier this season. And we won 6-1. Pretty good game. We outshot them 45-31. Mike Sillinger, yet again, was the first. He's having a pretty good month. Sillinger, first star, 3 assists. Pavel Datsyuk, second star, 2 goals and an assist. And Bill Guerin, third star with 2 goals. We had 13,653 people in attendance. Daniel Alfredson scored from Patrick Eliash and Alexei Yashin. Then Datsyuk from Mike Sillinger. And then Bill Guerin from Mike Sillinger and Pavel Datsyuk. It was 3-0 for the Sens in the second period, but the Flyers scored before the end of the period and made it 3-1. And then we scored 3 more goals in the third period. Datsyuk from Sillinger and McCabe. Bill Guerin on the power play from Yashin and Eliash. And Thornton from Alfredson and Surrey. 6-1 was the final score. There was no stopping Joe Sakic, who had 4 goals against San Jose. Yeah, pretty good game for Joe Sakic. And now we are heading in Boston to face the Bruins. Alright, Steve Yzerman has achieved 1,800 points in his career. 36 years old, 3 stars and a half. He's starting to slow down a little bit, but he did get 2 assists against Dallas. 1,800 points in a career, that's pretty good. Stefan Matteau is back from suspension. Shane Corson got his 600 points in his career. That's, half as many as Yzerman. And he's 35, Shane Corson, and a 1-star player. Still playing in Buffalo. He was in that trade a while ago. And found himself a home in Buffalo, I guess. He's still there. So he had an assist for his 600 point. Alright, we are playing in Boston. Boston is not doing too good this year. They are 17, 23, and 6, and we shellacked them twice so far this season, 7-2 and 7-1. And Dan Cloutier is on waivers. I am not picking him up, and I am preparing to face the Bruins. Mike Dunham in net for the Sens is going to face Yevgeny Nabokov. And it's a 1-1 tie. So Mike Dunham is having problems winning hockey games or saving, stopping shots even. We outshot them 46-20. Josef Stumpel was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Sheldon Sorry, second star, had a goal as well. And Olli Jokinen, third star with an assist. So both goals were scored in the first period. Stumpel scored on the power play 53 seconds into the first period. And then Sheldon Sorry scored 6 minutes and some later, assisted by Joe Thornton and Patrick Eliash. And 1-1 was the final score. Nobody else scored in that game, obviously. Doug Waite has tallied 600 points in his career. He had an assist against New Jersey. Alright, and we are getting ready to face the Minnesota Wild. Now, let's see here. The Wild, they're not too good, but definitely better than a couple of other teams. They are 18, 26, and 4. It's the first game we're going to play against Minnesota this year, so let's take a look at their lineup. Jason York is injured, so he's not going to be playing. And Mike Greer is hurt, but he might play. Yves Sarrault is still suspended. So let's see. They have Patrick Lalim and José Theodore in net. In net, they're set. That's a really good tandem right there. Steve Duchesne, Darius Kasparidis, Mike Ratchie, Lubomir Sekac, Stephen Alco, Nick Schultz, Jason Smith, Mike Greer, Patrick Lebeau, Grant Marshall, Scott Pellerin, Yves Sarrault, Jan Bulish, Bob Wren, Alexander Daigle. 18 points for Daigle. Chris Drury, Joel Perpich, Eric Daze, McInnes, Stevenson, Scott Young. Yeah, that's not a good goaltending. Okay defense. The rest is the offense is not too threatening. Alright, we're sending Ryan Miller. They are sending Patrick Lalim in net. Oh, Patrick Lalim has a Rangers jersey on. That's happening. And we won 3-0. We outshot them 45-22. Patrick Eliash was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Alexei Yashin, second star of the game with 2 assists. And Zdeno Chara, third star with 2 goals. We had 14,059 people in attendance. Zdeno Chara scored in the first on the power play from Patrick Eliash and Alexei Yashin. 1-0 Sens after 1. Chara scored again in the second from Yashin and Sorry. It was 2-0 Sens after 2. And Guerin scored his 20th on the power play from Patrick Eliash in the third period. Made it 3-0, and that's our final score. Alfredson misses time with day-to-day injury. He's going to miss about 4 days. I think we're good. And Yves Sao is back from suspension. So let's see. Day-to-day with what? With shin splints. Mika Alatalo is available. I am not picking him up. No suspension for Dan Boyle in Atlanta. Still in the lineup. And we are about to face the best team in the league. We're the best team in the East, but the best team in the league is yet again the Detroit Red Wings. They have this ridiculous record of 35, 8, and 5. So, that's the first time we're going to face them this year. So let's take a look at this incredible lineup that has that incredible record. Looks like Curtis Crashtins is not going to be playing. He's hurt. Other than that, they have Chris Osgood and Marty Turco in net. Chris Osgood and Marty Turco in net. Wow, okay. Nick Lidstrom, just a 5-star defenseman. Dan McGillis, Bikov, Chiasson, Niklas Kronwall is starting to slowly develop. Vladimir Konstantinov and Aaron Miller, Vyacheslav Kozlov, Henrik Zetterberg, Sean Avery, Sean Podine, Juha Ilonen, Craig Conroy, Sergei Fedorov, Ray Ferraro, Stefan Yell, Steve Yzerman. Yeah, they have a pretty decent team. I'm curious about Ray Ferraro. 14 points in 48 games. Yeah. He is slowing down. Alright, we are going to go with Ryan Miller in net. They are sending Chris Osgood. It's the best team in the West faces the best team in the East. So, is that going to be a good game? I don't know. Well, we couldn't find a victor, so 2-2 is the final score, so a tie against the best team in the league. I'll take it. We outshot them 33-29. Ray Ferraro, don't you know, I just looked at him. First star of the game, he had 2 goals. He scored both goals for Detroit. McCabe was the second star with an assist, and Craig Conroy was the third star with an assist as well. So Magnus Arvidsson opened the scoring. His 6th of the season, assisted by Brian McCabe and Pavel Datsyuk. And then the rest of the goals were all scored in the second. Ray Ferraro scored both of his goals, made it 2-1 Detroit, but then Alexei Yashin scored on the power play from Bill Guerin, made it 2-2, and that would stick. Alright, so I mentioned how I am avoiding injuries, so of course now the game is punishing me for being too confident about it. And Matt Cullen is hurt for 3 months. What does he have? A herniated disc in the neck. Ow, that sounds painful. Oh, and Sami Salo is also hurt. We just didn't get the news about it. Alright, so we went from super healthy to crippled in pretty fast. You're going to the injury list. Salo's going to the injury list. Now I need a defenseman and I need a center. Oops. Alright, at center I have Chris Kelly. Oh, maybe. 16 points in 35 games. Derek McKenzie. 9 points. Shas Levy, 15. Lane Olmer, 12. David Viborny, 21. Viborny, you're being called up. And you also grew to a star and a half. I also need a defenseman. Andrew Hutchinson. Now Karel Rakunek, maybe. 14 points, 5. Wade Redden, 10. 13 points for Julien Vauclair. Oh, Brian Berard. That's right, I have Brian Berard. Wow, you're declining fast, buddy. You only have 8 points. Brad Bombardier has 10. I'm going to recall Karel Rakunek to replace Samicello. There you go. Okay, we are playing in Philadelphia in 2 days. Yves Sao's on waivers. I am not picking him up. No, I am not. Alright, playing in Philadelphia. Alright, Joe Sakic played in 1,000 games, 32 years old, and he had an assist to celebrate. François Beauchemin's suspension in Montreal is over. Colin White's suspension in New Jersey is over. Alright, playing the Flyers. We are 1-1 against the Flyers so far this year. Alright. Okay, we have Mike Dunham in net for this one. We're playing against Roman Czechman. Flyers 23-17 and 8. And we won 2-0. Mike Dunham finally played a decent game. We outshot them 29-26. Mike Dunham was the first star of the game. He had 26 saves for the shutout. Martin St. Louis for Philadelphia was a second star despite not getting any stats. And Karel Rakunek scored his first NHL goal in his first NHL game. And he is the third star. So Rakunek opened the scoring in the first from Patrick Elias and Bill Guerin, and that was a game-winning goal. Then Chris Neal also scored his first NHL goal from Brian McCabe and David Viborny. Wow, so my call-ups both got points. Look at that. Now we are back home, and we are going to be playing the Bruins. Derek Walser in Phoenix is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Kip Miller keeps fans on their feet all night. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Phoenix. Memorable game for Brian Giunta in New Jersey, who had a hat-trick against Florida. Alfredson feeling better. Might play. I might like it. Alright, we are 2-0-1 against Boston this year, who are now 18-25-7. We just played them like last week. Thomas Vokoun in net for Boston, and Mike Dunham for us. Why not? He just got a shutout. And we lost 3-2. Alright. We outshot Boston 37-33. Glenn Murray was the first star of this game. He had 2 assists. Yashin first star, a goal and an assist, and Ted Donato third star with a goal. 12,783 people in attendance. Boston took a 2-0 lead into the first period. And then Marian Osa scored his 20th on the power play from Alexei Yashin. It was 2-1 Boston after 2. And then we traded goals in the third. Boston made it 3-1, and then Alexei Yashin scored from Viborny and Guerin. There were 4 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the game at that point, but we ran out of time and we lost 3-2. Alfredson almost back. We only have 2 games left in January. Looks like it's going to be another shorter video a little bit. So, let's see here. Alright. And Alfredson is back. And that's good, because he's a good player. I need him. We haven't been playing really as good this month. I mean, we're still playing decent, but we haven't been dominating this month. Well, I say that, and we have a 12-point lead on the Devils. It's pretty hard to complain when you're 33, 12, and 6, I suppose. But we are about to play Montreal, and you guys by now know how I feel about playing against Montreal. I need a win every time. So we won the only game against Montreal so far this year. Montreal is 26, 19, and 6, so they're pretty good. They are going to be having Patrick Roy in net, and we're going to have Ryan Meller. We won the first game 4-0. And we won this one 5-0. Take that, Montreal. You're not even scoring against me this year. That's how I like it. That's how it always should be. So, we outshot them 53-21. Marian Osa was the first star with 3 assists. Bill Guerin was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Pavel Datsyuk, third star, a goal and an assist as well. So Alfredson scored. Welcome back to the lineup, Alfie. Assisted by Surrey and McCabe. It was 1-0 after 1. Then in the second period, Patrick Elias scored on the power play from Osa and Yashin, made it 2-0. And then Datsyuk scored his 15th from Guerin and Osa, 3-0 after 2. Guerin scored from Datsyuk and Osa, made it 4-0. And Magnus Arvidsson from Mike Fisher and Martin Avlat, 5-0 for the Sens, is our final score in Montreal. Montreal fans are upset. They probably flipped cars over or something. Turmoil in St. Louis. Rumor says Blues dressing room trouble could cause ouster of Barry Trotz. Oh, Barry Trotz. Wow. Might lose his job in St. Louis. Alright, and in 3 days we are hosting the Flyers for the last game of the month. Alexei Kovalev extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals against Tampa Bay, so he got suspended and now he picked up right where he left off. If I remember correctly, he was the best goal scorer after December in the entire league. Sami Salo is starting to feel better. And we have a trade proposal from the Vancouver Canucks who want Chris Neal for the Sidon Twins. Maybe. Nope. They want Peter Shastlivy for Kyle Friedrich. Wow. No. Alright, so we are about to play the Flyers. Oh, Mark Recchi played in his 1000th game at 33 years old, and he had an assist against Pittsburgh the night before playing against us. Congratulations, Mark Recchi. I know you're not listening to this, but I still want to congratulate you on your 1000th game. And now we are playing the Flyers. So we are 2-1 against Philadelphia. They are 25-18-9, and they are 5th in the East, so they are pretty good. We're going to play Ryan Miller in net. They are going to play Roman Cechmanek. And we lost 3-2. That wasn't a great month. It was okay, but we really didn't play all that great. I hope I shouldn't be concerned about the team heading into the playoffs. So we got 49 shots on goal. Philadelphia got 18. Eric Lindros was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Joe Thornton was the second star with an assist. And Roman Cechmanek was the third star with 47 saves. We had 13,304 people in attendance. So nobody scored in the first. Then Martin Avlat opened the scoring in the second from Magnus Arvidsson. It was 1-0 Sens. And then Eric Lindros scored only his third. Did he get hurt or something? I don't remember. Probably. He shouldn't only have 3 goals. Anyway, that was tied at 1 after 2. Then the Flyers scored twice, made it 3-1. Karel Rakunek scored from Marian Osa and Joe Thornton, made it 3-2 near the end of the third. We ran out of time, and that one's in the books. Theo Fleury has tallied 1,000 games. So he played that against Detroit, didn't get a point. Yuri Krupp in Nashville is suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. Strong night for Milan Hajduk, who had 4 assists against Nashville. That's pretty good. Alexei Kovalev extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal against the Islanders. And Sami Sato might be back soon. Alright, so next game is going to be February 4th. Of course, I just simmed up until February 1st. Darren McCarthy and Rory Fitzpatrick are available on waivers. I am not picking them up. Alright. Joe Sakic and Chris Osgood are the players of the month, so they had good months so far. Not so far, but a good month of January, which we didn't quite do all that great. We're still 12 points up on the Devils, though, so I'll take that. So still atop of the East. Let's look in the West, see what's going on there. So in the West, Detroit is still ridiculously good. Colorado, Anaheim, wow. Anaheim's turning things around already. Well, if you think about that, we're only 5 years removed from when they won the Cup in real life, so I guess they're starting to get into shape. Columbus, that's pretty good. Wow, Columbus is 32-17-4. Columbus has the second most amount of wins in the West. This is crazy. Chicago, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Dallas. So Columbus, of all people, is doing really good. Wow. I find that very interesting. It's probably because of Ray Bork. Alright, so for our stats, Yashin is still having a killer season with 66 points in 53 games. But we've lost pretty much everybody else that was a point per game. Alfredson dropped to 47 points in 51 games. Guerin is having a really good season, 46 points in 51 games. Osa 45 in 51. Eliash 44 in 52. Datsuk 39 in 53. 39 in 53 for Joe Thornton as well. Then we have Sheldon Surrey that has 34 points in 53 games. He's our best defenseman. And then it starts going down from there. And now for the league, Kovalev, despite being suspended for a while, is still the best goal scorer. He's up at 40 goals scored this year so far. And then Matt Sundin is the best passer with 47 assists, and the best scorer is Joe Sakic, 79 points. Yashin is 6th with 66, so he's 13 points back on the lead. I doubt that he's going to catch up to Sakic, but who knows. And then the best plus-minus players are all ours or the Red Wings, except for Jere Lehtinen, who is 12th with plus 26. The best player for plus-minus is Sheldon Surrey at plus 37. I already explained how I don't necessarily believe in the plus-minus as a stat. But, you know, back then that was an indicator of how good you were defensively, because we didn't know any better. So, well, plus 37 is pretty good in that regard. Matt Cullen was the best at face-offs before getting injured, so that blows. I like Matt Cullen. Alright, so this is where we are. Still in a pretty good spot. A little bit of a tougher month, but overall still doing pretty good. We are getting prepped up for the playoffs, and hopefully we can make it all the way to the finals and win. That's the goal, right? Alrighty, so I am going to go ahead and stop here. So that's, again, another bit of a shorter video. I don't know if I'm speaking faster or just finding my groove, or maybe I'm not ranting as much during my videos talking about random stuff. I don't know, but hey, it's a little bit shorter, that's good. So I'm stopping this here, so thank you for tuning in as usual, and if you've liked the video, you can leave me a like or subscribe even if you haven't already. That's always appreciated, and until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.